right, Nurosene is on a mission to help empower people to take control of their mental wellness. The technology-driven platform focusing on providing healthy habits for the mind and body that aim to help consumers improve their daily mental wellness and overall brain health. Well, the company also adding a Super Bowl champion to its roster to bolster these initiatives. That always helps. And joining me now is Ranj, CEO at Nurosene, and five-time Pro Bowl cornerback Richard Sherman. Guys, it's great to have you both with me this afternoon. Ranj, we'll start with you. Take us through how your company is helping people with their own mental wellness.
Yeah, so I think the definition you gave kind of hit it on the nose. We're trying to find solutions to empower people to really take control of their mental wellness. You know, the pandemic's taught people to take more care of their overall mental health in the same way they take care of their physical fitness and nutrition. And what we're launching in the immediate term is a way that we've digitized the clinical experience of you seeing a functional neurologist, and we're bringing those kind of like brain coaching exercises inside an app which is launched on the App Store right now. And complementing that, we're launching a line of nutraceutical supplements which work on the cellular level and complement the activities that you're doing in the app. But where this is going is we're collecting the data on how you actually interact with those exercises, and we can start predicting specific healthcare conditions that you might be facing in the future and putting you on a pathway to for some corrective action.
Richard, I want to bring you in as well. You've notably chosen to invest in this company. Why did you decide to do that, and what is your involvement with Nurosene?
Well, I'm an advisor to the company. Obviously, I'm an investor. And I think that this pandemic has really exposed the trials and tribulations of mental health and how rapidly it spreads and how much it affects everyone. You know, I think there's always been a stigma behind mental health and just talking about mental health and your brain and when you're going through issues, you know, whether it's stress, depression, et cetera, et cetera. I think there's always been a negative stigma behind it. So more people kind of withhold that information. They try to capture it and keep it inside and don't want to speak to people about it. And I think I wanted to go out on a limb and be a part of this company and be an ambassador for people to come out and speak about this issue and speak about the help that they need or what they're going through or the issues that they feel like they're dealing with. Sometimes it's helplessness, sometimes it's financial, sometimes it's just the burden of the weight of the world on your shoulders. And I think that the more people feel comfortable speaking about it, the more people feel comfortable addressing it, the more people feel that there are other avenues of help, the better people will be.
Well, I think, look, it's definitely a step in the right direction, talking about it and having that conversation, and hopefully it won't make people feel so overwhelmed or alone. Ranj, I want to bring you back in here. There is competition in this space. There are meditation apps out there, companies that are trying to attack mental wellness and improve mental wellness, I guess Calm being one. Talk to me about how you're different. What's different about this company?
Yeah, so we're very different from the wealth of apps that are out there right now. The telehealth apps that give you access to a therapist, the Calm and the meditation apps that have done very well through pandemic. And it's great to see that people are on this pathway to take more care of their mental wellness. But we like to describe ourselves more as a health tech company, and we're basically educating people on really taking care of your brain health more than anything, because people kind of understand the importance of the brain, but not really how it controls so many different functions. So that's what we're doing, is we're showing you the importance of stretching your brain on a daily basis, creating some like habit forming activities that are integrated into your daily routine, and then basically giving you a really powerful tool in your hands that's going to be able to predict future healthcare conditions.
Mm-hmm. Richard, come back in again. I mean, talking about athletes here, we've seen a whole host of athletes start to talk about this, which again, I think is a step in the right direction. And then recently, Naomi Osaka, the huge tennis star, withdrawing from the French Open, citing her mental health. How important is it for athletes, put us in the mind of athletes, to make their own mental wellness a priority?
I think, once again, it's always been a negative stigma behind it. And I think a lot of athletes have put their own mental health and their own well-being on the back burner, whether it's to achieve personal greatness or team goals, or just the pressure of the outside world and the negative association people have when you say, I'm dealing with something, even though you're a human being like everybody else and you go through the trials and tribulations of life. A lot of people don't see athletes in that way, especially on the professional platform. And I thought that was very, very powerful what Naomi was able to do, and how vulnerable and how genuine she was, and how she was able to be transparent and really show people a different side of the athlete. Regardless of how high of a level she competes at, she's still a human being. You know, she still deals with anxiety. She still deals with depression. She still deals with self-confidence. And I think we all do. And I think for so long it's been taboo to even speak on that and just never even say anything about it. Just we're above mental illness, and that's not true. You know, and you see that daily. And I think her taking that stand is going to liberate others to speak out on it.
Mm-hmm. Ranj, come back in here. So your company is publicly traded in Canada. I do see here has plans to go public in the U.S. within the next few weeks. What does being a public company provide you? What opportunities does that provide your company?
Yeah. So we've been asked, why don't you go down the VC route? And I think, we didn't want to be confined by the, traditional constructs of going down venture capital. And, they have, venture capitalists often have their own objectives of where you take the company. But being a public company now, obviously there's a lot more eyeballs on us. There's going to be a lot more scrutiny on us. But it gives us a lot of access to capital beyond just institutional investors. It gives us access to investment banks, retail investors, and various family offices as well. And we want everyone to feel a part of what we're building at Nurosene. And we have a real responsibility here to educate people, as I referred to before, but we want people to feel a part of what we're building and help shape the direction of Nurosene with us as well. So yeah, it's really, we're going to be going into a very aggressive M&A with ancillary businesses that really support our mission of overall finding solutions for mental health care. And that could lead us into pharma, it could lead us into development of novel molecules and future tech in solutions for mental health care in the future as well.
Richard, last question to you. The NFL just recently announcing $1 million commitment to study and research cannabis use for pro athletes, especially dealing with pain and injuries. Is that something that you support? Do you think that's a wise move by the NFL?
Yeah, I think it's always a wise move to think about alternative medicine. I think the NFL has been very rigid in that space for so very long, and not been open to exploring other avenues and other ways to help these players deal with this. It's always been whatever the pharmaceutical, whatever the opioid of the day is. Whether it's Vicodin, whether it's Percocet, whether it's Toradol for pain. I think they've always been very clear and very open about the issues with those things, but players kind of felt like, hey, you take the good with the bad, and the good outweighs the bad. And I think the NFL really taking initiative and putting their money where their mouth is and going out and trying to really address that issue in other ways shows, I guess, evolution and growth on their behalf, on their part.
All right, guys, so great to have both of you with me this afternoon. We got to leave it there. That's Nurosene CEO Ranj and 5-time Pro Bowl quarterback Richard Sherman. Thanks again, guys.